Welcome back to Dow Twang. I'm Dave. We're going to have some fun today with this. It's E minor pentatonic till the cows come home, or the cats. Now, there's cats in here today. I can't control the camera from here. I'd show you they're right over here. And so if they start acting up, they got to go. If you hear anything out of them or see them, there's nothing really for them to get on behind me here, but they wanted to be in here today, and they're allowed to. Like I said, unless they start acting up, then they got to go. So we're going to give it a try. E minor pentatonic. Let me put this shape up here right now, this little map, this diagram. And we're going to work a lot with the kind of middle part of that, of the neck there. I mean, really that whole pattern minus that kind of, I took it all the way down there so you could see that. But it's really the same notes as. See, up there I went and did that same. Okay, now this is a really good tool here. And if you spend a little time, not just memorize it, iconically, visually. But your ear will start, really seeking that out in different places on the neck, and you're bridging several positions when you use that, and it sets you up to be able to do some nice embellishments and slides and hammers and things that just sound kind of richer than just always being in a vertical position, right? But let's we're not going to go note for note on this. I'm just going to, I played the tracks at a pretty high tempo. So let me kind of, show you a routine for you. It doesn't matter how fast you play, you can still stretch it out over this. Okay. Now, again, this isn't a lick one, a lick two, but bear with me here. I'm going to show you some stuff where you're going to be able to explore this, and it's going to pay off. You're going to find some treasure for sure. So, three kind of embellishments. Now, the note sequence is the first part of this. If you're already up and running with that, then you get right into the stylizing it, right? But, for some of you, if you're still kind of mapping this stuff out, go with that. Put that track on and just kind of, work that around and up and down and just get it under your fingers and just really kind of get some muscle memory going with it. Now, right away, again, at any level, you can, start putting in some nice embellishments. So let's take this. I like to divide things up into kind of clusters, right? So let's take this, like a 3-string square there, sort of, right? Right? And one of the things you can do right away is kind of this bounce and hammer thing, I call it. Just practice that right there. then let your ear kind of lead you to, oh, what if I went down there or went up, But and you can make a melody, a theme, a real theme out of something like that right away. Don't be afraid to stay in one spot like that and just wear it out. That is great practice. Now, these notes, octave higher, it's this, it's. Okay, so you can move it up there and do it too. Now, there's only 5 notes in a pentatonic scale, right? So, once you get, there's the root. We're not starting on the root when we use this box. It's kind of why you get a lot of nice, kind of different sounding notes in there, right? It's not always just, or, sounds cool to start on that low E and end on it sometimes, but you don't want to make a habit out of always doing that, right? So this gets you out of there right away and into more of a. And that's another simple thing you can do, just hammer that root. Now I'm going to move up to the next octave here. Same notes as. See how kind of you can repeat these things in different places. You'll map it all out in your own way, in your own time. So now this one you can't do it. The box, can't include 3 strings that are adjacent because you have that difference between the G and the B. Now you can do it up here, and it does. You have that three adjacent strings that are the same fret span. I like this though because I like to get that angle on it like this. Okay. Now let me slow some of that down. Again, don't try to go note for note with it necessarily. You can stop it and copy something that you really like, but it'll take you far if you just get these note groupings down and really just kind of get in there and wrestle with it, till you find stuff that feels right, that sounds good. That hammer and leaving notes like that is a great technique. Just hammer from 2 behind that root. Okay. You don't have to, play a lot of notes, to get a lot of action if you're creative with your hammering and your sustaining, your time. All right, you'll get it. Now, Couple more things real quick, then I'm going to play a little outro and get you to this practice loop. Up here, you have a nice kind of all the way across that position. You can do the same sound down here. And it's the a 2 fret, difference, or a 1 fret difference, sorry, on the two adjacent strings. Go for your ear on that. There's this kind of a single note version of it. A lot of times you can, when you hit a lick, you can also just hit that open. That feels good, right? You're going along and you just kind of want to. Sometimes when you're closing, that wasn't probably the greatest example, but you know what I mean? Let yourself go, really have fun with this and be playful with it, and, just throw some, junk like that in there sometimes and just see what happens. And sometimes that can really give you a lift in your confidence, because you're like, everything doesn't have to be this perfect execution of all the stuff that I'm watching on YouTube. Let yourself, really go wild sometimes. This is a good backing track for that. It's fun. And then the last thing was, when you get up to here, if we go back to this main pattern, instead of, if we keep going, the notes are, but you can also bend this one to get to that. And that's kind of tough tucking that one under there, but same notes, by the way, as, okay. You're going to find that you can tie a lot of this stuff together and really get moving around. It's really fun. So those are the ideas. I might do a follow-up on this one and do some more specific licks. But for this time, we're at whatever level you are and wherever you are with these, however familiar or not you are with these pentatonic shapes, just get in there and challenge yourself to do something, a little bit different with it today, right? And if you're like, oh, yeah, this guy, there's no tab on here, and I just don't know what to do, that's okay. That's normal at first. But give it a shot. You might surprise yourself, actually. I'm going to play a little bit of an outro here, and I'll get you to the practice loop. Thank you. See you next time.